hard was Typo. Back straight quarter. 27 and 3.
Another Thursday afternoon here at the creek, another sunny day. Summer is not far away.
It's going to be a warm one as well. It's starting to feel that way already. We're only just into spring, but it's warming up all right.
Yeah, it certainly is, and that warmer weather means some carnival action not far away.
Well, the biggest name in the game right now is Leap to Fame. He's going to be back racing Saturday week, hopefully. If that race gets off the ground, expect to see Larry straight back at the races. No trial, straight back at the races, hoping for 2 runs, and then he goes south to the Melbourne campaign where he tackles the Grand Circuit race, the Victoria Cup, the race that he got beaten in last year, so he's hoping to right that wrong, so next Saturday night.
It'll be great if we can see Larry here on track as he kicks that campaign off. Team Dixon, will he have any travelling companions?
Well, it's uncertain with a rotor. It's unlikely he'll make the trip to Melbourne. He's probably about 2 to 3 weeks behind. He had a little break following his outstanding Constellations Carnival. He is amongst nominations for the New Zealand Cup, so they're going to have to make a call whether they're going to push for that race or not, but he's just a couple of weeks behind, so definitely no Melbourne at this stage for a rotor.
Are there any other campaigns for a rotor? New Zealand, we see Leap to Fame, he's head there, the nominations are out.
Yeah, exactly, and he's ranked number 1, no surprise there, Leap to Fame. So Swayze, who was the defending New Zealand Cup champ, he wasn't even amongst nominations. They're going a different path. So by virtue of him not being a nomination, that means the reigning Inter-Dominion champ gets the number 1 ranking. That happens to be Larry, so you'll see the Queenslander number 1 ranked horse for the New Zealand Cup.
Speaking of New Zealand horses, there's a few New Zealanders on the move, a few stable changes.
Yeah, absolutely. John Livingston, he's going to have a big stable here very soon. He's based on the south side of Brisbane now. He's got a number of new Kiwis, Gazman, who's a trotter, well-credentialed, Jacka Cooper, Luka Doncic, so they've all joined his stable. Funny Faces there, Hot and Treacherous is there. So expect John Livingston, who's a very crafty trainer, to be back racing and racing with a good team very shortly.
Yeah, well, he's quite a team there, and big success many years ago, like we mentioned last week. Gary Bond's back training, now John Livingston, so good to see those names coming back. Another Kiwi, Major Hot, our Derby winner.
Yep, he's featured in the stable change. Of course, he's been one of those horses that just keeps turning up in someone's stable. Came across with Nathan and Mark Purden, ended up with David and Stacey White. He's now joined Paul Fitzpatrick. Now, he trialled earlier this week, the Queensland Derby winner. The ultimate aim for him is the Victoria Derby. He had a pretty easy trial there at Menangle on Wednesday, but expect him to go to Melbourne for Paul and Lynn Fitzpatrick, and I'd say Gavin should be back. He's had a bit of a shoulder complaint of recent times, so he should be driving Major Hot. Earlier today, we saw Peter Gregg get a win.
Yeah. Only his second win driving. Of course, he's plenty of training wins. He got to 100 training wins last year. Only his second driving win this season.
I've got a question for you. When was his last Albion Park winning drive? Now, when you think about it, Peter Gregg's one of the all-time greats here in the state. I think closing in on 2,500 career wins. When was his last Albion Park winning drive prior to Macklemore checks?
Yeah, well, I think it's a horse we'll see on Saturday night, and I think that would have been Obi Legal, and it'd be some years ago now, so I'm tipping probably about 3 years ago.
Okay, well, there you go. So you've been looking at the record books. No surprise, master driver, and he drove that horse well. Didn't show up in any of the trials. Calculated move today. He was prime, ready to go. Got the Q-Bred bonus for connections as well, so a good result.
Good result today for all Q-Breds. His first 3 races, first Q-Bred bonus is going off, so that best futurity system in the country continues to deliver. Soap Opera, we saw her win the Breeders' Challenge Blue final last week. I think we've been in a cold sweat at the top of the straight.
Oh, no doubt. We had so much expectations about last Saturday night as Queenslanders. 3 horses in the big one, the world's richest race, the Eureka. We came up short there. Speak the Truth went around the Len Smith Mile. He finished at the rear of the field. It was Soap Opera who stood tall, charging down the outside. She's got an amazing turn of acceleration, showed that winning that race. So that was the Breeders' Challenge Blue, like you said. Darren Weeks has confirmed she will return to Sydney in the coming weeks and have a shot at the main Breeders' Challenge. I think that race is a Group 1. That was a Group 2 last Saturday night, $150,000. So that's the next big target. Definitely no Victoria Oaks for Soap Opera.
Speaking of Victoria Oaks, we likely Riley Rainbow's in the paddock. Xena Rainbow, she's sticking around.
Well, as far as I know she is. She was a scratching last Saturday night from that semi-final action at Melton. So hoping she can be right to contest that. RDB Mickey, who scored first up here last week, she's definitely going down. The Janitor's going down for the Derby as well. And just speaking of nice young horses, Fader Waits, the Proto Star horse, he's back at the trials. He's getting set for the Breeders' Challenge. Park the Greatness, who's unbeaten 3 for 3. He's going to trial against Fader Waits on Friday. He's getting set for the Breeders' Challenge. Ironclad, Air Express, they're both headed down as well. What will be interesting, Darren, we might need a new driver for Fader Waits, because on the semi-final, not trying to get too far ahead of ourselves, but semi-final night is the same night as the Victoria Cup. So Grant's going to be driving Leap to Fame. Who gets the keys to Fader Waits? That will be interesting. I'm tipping Trista's going to be the front runner to drive Fader Waits. So time will tell, like I said, but a new driver is definitely required on that night.
Okay. Anything else around the grounds?
Well, there is a good Queensland interest again Saturday night down in Sydney. We've got heats of the Carousel. Darren and Angus Garrard, they've got a number of runners stepping out in those heats as well. They've got Ragazzo Diatilli on the backup, Classy Washington in that free-for-all, and Duke of Scotland, who we mentioned last week, he trialled really well. He's down there competing in a carousel heat. So there's good Queensland interest at that meeting on Saturday night.
I see Jack Callaghan takes the reins on Duke of Scotland.
Whisper a Secret has returned home. He's going for a break. So not sure what the plans are going to be with him going forward. Do they look at our summer carnival here later this year? Are they looking big time next year? Time will tell, but he is back at home and going for a break.
Anything else we got there?
I think that's about it for the week.
I will say, we just saw Lieutenant Lou close out nicely in a trial there. He's a 2-year-old from the Graham Dwyer stable. Graham picked up his 100th season winner here today. Well done to the King's Lodge team. He'll be going to the Sunshine Stars Sales Series, Lieutenant Lou. So that comes up in November. So looking forward to that series. Of course, only for those horses who went through the Sunshine Stars sale.
He won the first 2-year-old race of the season here earlier this year.
He did.
Yeah. Okay, good to see him back.
So I think that's it. That's it for the Scoop.
That's it. Done and dusted.